Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan battle video, and today we are taking on the new burst mode. So this is versus the Vegeta and Trunks Dokkan event fight. And they give you two category options here, right? So you have Inhuman Deeds or you have Worldwide Chaos. Now, Worldwide Chaos you get less points for, but the Inhuman Deeds team is like a pretty limited team, right? With a lot of older units on it. So the strat that I use for this is, in this run here, we are doing Worldwide Chaos because that is a much stronger team. And we're doing just Tech and Int type. So it's got to be full Extreme, Worldwide Chaos, Tech and Int. But that roster is actually pretty strong. So this is the one that I kind of built up to be my 6,000 point clear. And then what I did after this was for my Inhuman Deeds, I just did Inhuman Deeds as the only requirement, and you'll just stomp it because they won't have any buffs or anything. So that's how I kind of got through all the missions. And that's the strat I decided to take. So right here, the reason why this team is so strong is you have obviously the new Tech Zamasu, who's Worldwide Chaos. You have that LR Int Zamasu right there. You've got the Tech Android. You've got Int Piccolo Jr. Like, there's just, the roster's pretty good. And then I did have to go fairly low on team cost. I couldn't go as like high on the team cost missions, right? So I did have to do like there's like a Tech Cell World Tournament card that's just like a support unit. I threw him on there just because he's low cost. And we're just able to hide him and kind of get through. So. But this mission, actually, this run, has a very wild ending to it. And we'll just say, I survive a hit and a turn with the least amount of hit points I think I've ever had in a Dokkan game before. Like, it's insane, like, how close I was to dying and that I didn't die. We'll just say it gets to the point where, like, I take a big super attack, and later on in that turn, I know I'm taking double-digit normals, but I still think I'm at risk of dying. That's how low my HP gets, where like double digits could actually kill me. So it's pretty wild. It's so like the fight went pretty smoothly, but yeah, we did take like one big beefy hit at the end that kind of like really got things interesting at the end of the fight. So we'll kind of watch as we get there, right? So the nice thing is, you know, you've got, even in this, you know, type of situation, I think Infinite Zamasu is something that can come out on this fight. And it's something that can help. You know, I think these early phases are pretty easy. Nothing too crazy going on there. And by the way, I will show off my my points at the end, like what I chose for all my categories to get 6,000. I'm not somebody that's going to push for like high score. Like, I just give me my 6,000 and that's it, right? So there's definitely things I could have done to maybe add more points in, but I didn't really feel it necessary. So right here, I probably should have attacked with Piccolo Jr. first, because he does build up stats on attack, and you know, Trunks is only going to be able to take one hit. And this unit, they build up on getting hit, so there's really no sense in having them attack first, but that's fine, it's whatever. We're able, I think on the next turn, we get them pretty much fully built up. I think they take a lot of hits. So here, yeah, that Tech Cell, I mean, we're able to hide them here, right? The middle slot, nobody's attacking, and it actually works out because the Zamasus can link. You know, I think everybody believes that this Tech and Int Zamasu, they should be able to link, because they are like different characters, you know. Kind of odd that they didn't give them a different name for the corrupted version. I think it's a very easy switch they could make. But yeah, you can see Zamasu hitting so hard. So in the other strat that I do on these burst modes is I try very hard not to give them damage reduction. I try to give them as little damage reduction and defense as I can. And I would rather give them a bunch of attack, because it basically just puts them up to like a red zone level boss in terms of attack. But if you can make them squishy, you can see there like Zamasu just one turn the phase and we don't take any risk. So like we make them so squishy that you know, our best defense is a good offense in this instance, right? So here we're taking on a lot of hits. So this is a good spot. I felt like to put the tech unit here in slot 1 because they're building up. I mean, the new Zamasu needs to get hit too, but he mainly just builds up attack, whereas this unit builds up like all of their stats and keys. So like it was way more important for me to get them built up, I felt like. And then, you know, Tech Zamasu's doing a really good damage anyways, even if he's not fully built up, right? But I think he gets a chance to take some hits here. I'll have to check my titles too, because I know they've added like, so the last like cool title I put on was I think like the fishing one. But I know they've added other interesting titles, and I'm confident I've earned them all because I complete every mission in the game. So I should actually check my titles and see, because I think there's like one that has like, you know, Zamasu's sword and like Trunks' sword on it, and I think there's another one coming out. So yeah, I'll have to look and try some different titles out, because it is cool when they have like the ones that look really interesting. I like those for sure. I do like those for sure. All right. And unfortunately, you know, my thought with the tech androids is we could use the Ghost Usher, but we never really get a good spot to use it because every time they pop up, because I believe the enemies have to be above 50% for them to pop it, and we're never in a good spot to use it, which is fine. There was a spot at the end when it got really dicey I wanted to, but the enemies weren't in the right spot to do it. Alright, so here, I probably should have put the Tech Zamasu in slot 1, because my LR unit, I think, is fairly built up at this point, but I wasn't sure if they're fully built up for the Goku Black Zamasu, so I did leave them in slot 1 again, and, yeah, see, them in the middle slot would have been a lot better here, because then both of the Zamasus would have linked, but it's fine, and we would have gotten built up a little bit more. So that definitely is, like, pardon my error, because, like, here comes a big super attack, right? And we're type disadvantage, so this was a big mistake. So watch what happens here. This is the spicy ending. 609k and we live it. And then here comes this Tech Zamasu. So yeah, I definitely should have had this unit in slot 1. But look at my health. It's like 400. I was at like 400 health. So like now I'm taking normals, like double digit normals, but it's like I can actually die because double digits can sometimes be triple digits. Look at my health. I'm at 350 health. My goodness. Oh my goodness, look at this. So then we roll into Piccolo Jr. because, you know, his transformation's going to go off here. And we actually get to see, like, what our health is at. We're going to get a few turns of this Piccolo Jr. here. But look at our health. Like, how often do you see this in Dokkan? I have literally 179 health. So we are at the point that double-digit damage does kill us. On units, right? Like that low digit damage can actually kill us. So there is a bit of strategy to how I handle this Piccolo Jr. here. This turn I kind of just do whatever. But on the next turn, my goal is I want to leave up as many like tech and int orbs as possible because I know my whole team is tech and int. So on the next turn, I want to be able to pop up and heal, like, as much as I can. Like, I just want to heal to the point that, like, I can take normals comfortably and, like, not die, right? So, like, just give me a few thousand health. Because 179, you're not living anything with that. So, yeah, we just got to get out of this and heal. Now, with Piccolo, you don't know how many turns you're going to get, right? So I'm going to assume that I'm going to get 2 turns. So that's kind of the way that I play this. So I'm taking it like, okay, this could be my last turn. So even though it's going to cause me to miss supers, I'm like, let's just try to make sure we leave as much tech and int orbs out as possible. I wanted to make sure to explain that because I know somebody watching the video will be like, why did you miss all those supers with Piccolo Jr.? Well, it's because I'm trying to leave orbs up to heal. Because Piccolo Jr., you know, when you're in a giant form, you can't heal. So since we can't heal, we also can't take damage. So I'll definitely take that trade-off for sure. But yeah, it's just we have to know that we can come out and get some fat healing like immediately. And because our health is so low, I know I've got Tech LR Zamasu on both rotations. So I know I'm immediately going to go into Infinite Zamasu. So I know my slot 1 for sure is safe. I can put him in slot 1 and he's going to block everything no matter what. So I'm actually feeling pretty good. Like with as low as my health is right now, I'm feeling very confident we're going to get through. Not to mention that Piccolo Jr. is shaving off a bit of health. Now here we end up going to a 3rd turn, so this kind of threw me off a little bit, so it's like, alright, I can't avoid it, so I decided to wipe out the int ones, and then I got those 2 orbs on the side, and now I left a really fat pot of tech, which is good, because I knew tech would be really, really good, because I know I've got LR Zamasu, so he can just grab all those and get me a bunch of healing. Now the one thing I have to kind of decide here is, you know, if I want to go Infinite Zamasu or not. Because if I don't go Infinite Zamasu, I'm going to heal a lot more. But then I'm susceptible to damage. So what I end up doing is I do play it safe, I think, and do Infinite Zamasu. Now his defense goes way down, so the healing isn't as good. But to me, it was worth the trade-off. I just wanted enough healing to know I could survive some normals. And then know that my slot 1 is safe. So here we go. We come out of it, and we got a lot of tech units, right? And Piccolo Jr.'s got an active skill to pop off, so we got a lot of things going on here, right? So I do decide with all the attacks in slot 1, it just felt safer to me to go Infinite Zamasu. Like, we had to block that out. Because I could get more healing, but then they could just super me right away in slot 1 and, like, negate it anyway. So this just made sense. Not to mention we're going to get the domain effects, which will help as well. Alright, so we decided to go into domain mode here. And then we're going to pop Piccolo's skill as well. But yeah, I'm just like, Infinite Zamasu slot 1, 20 orbs, sure. And then there we go. We got a chunk back. We got like, you know, at least a little bit of health, right? Like what, 100,000 health. We'll take that. That's something. Something that we can like not die on normals. And then we're going to have Piccolo pop his AoE, which doesn't really matter. It still does damage, but it's meant to be for AoE. His active skill, though, does count for like him doing attacks towards his passive, which is good. And we nullified an attack, which that's pretty good as well. Didn't really matter because Infinite Zamasu, once again, he's blocking out. And then here, Tech Androids can get me some nice healing. That was a nice little pod we left for them. And yeah, no, nice chunk there. So now we're at like half health. So yeah, we'll take 263k health. So we went from 100, literally 179 health to 269,000 just on healing. So that was great. And then Zamasu here, I'm like, all right, this is probably going to be pretty close to finishing. Now, we've got Piccolo Jr. Now, if Piccolo Jr. doesn't finish off, I'm like a little nervous because like Tech Androids are going to be type disadvantaged. But I'm like, between Piccolo Jr. and Tech Androids, like we got to take them out, right? It's got to be it. There we go. There we go. We got it right there. So anyways, there's my burst mode. We will go to the end here. And then I can kind of like pause it and we can talk about like my score and everything, right? So let's look at what I picked as it comes up here. Just in case you want to copy my build, right? Okay, so, oops, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. I meant to just pause it. We'll just go to the end here. Sorry, all right, we'll go right here. I pressed stop instead of pause. But I obviously picked Worldwide Chaos. We tried to make it so, once again, I tried not to do as much damage reduction. So right here, we got Worldwide Chaos. We got only Tech and Int type. And then we've got, I did the 500 or less team cost, so just for like the 40 points there. And then I always make it so the enemies can't be debuffed, because that's fine. Like, we're used to that in Red Zone anyways. That's like a gimme, right? And then what we did is, we always let the enemies reduce damage from the types we're not using. We did give them the attack 100 and defense 100, because 300 points is a lot there. We did give them a big attack up for 1100 points. We did give them, I always give them the big HP up. Like, I'm fine burning through the HP. We just don't want them to have the damage reduction, right? Reduce 100,000 damage to 0. That's always a gimme. That's always, like, that's free. Like, that doesn't matter. And then, yeah, no support items and no support memories. And there you go. So, anyways, guys, there's my burst mode clear for 6,000. Let me know what kind of team you ran. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.